What's going on, everyone? We're going to go over the NQ futures right now. So the NASDAQ 100, we're going to go over the price action. We're going to talk about the potential levels that could have been played today. And we're also going to talk about some of the levels that we did play inside the live webinar this morning. So again, if you guys want access to that webinar, check the link below or go to my community post. There's one last ditch effort to kind of get that last lifetime membership spot. Again, it was supposed to come down today. I did my best to try to take down all of the links for access to that. I've only got about one link out there left, so you guys can access that. But again, anyways, so if we look at the opening candle here, right? So we look at this 6:30 a.m. candle. This candle comes down to the 20 SMA. 6:35 then confirms the 20 SMA going all the way down into the 200. Now, again, the way that I teach my traders how to trade, the way that I teach, the crew how to do it, basically what we would be looking for here is we would be looking for a confirmation below that, right? We would have to put a stop there. But again, this is a huge stop loss, right? So what could we do to kind of mitigate that risk, right? If we just, use our eyes without getting too technical here, and we just say, somewhere in the middle, right? Somewhere in the middle, we'll give it half of this. We'll give it half this range. If we do start to close over, half of this candlestick, we'll just get the heck out of the trade, right? So we could do something like that. This becomes our pivot down here. And also this would become our entry candle. Why? Because we're also losing the 200 SMA. Right? So in that particular scenario, what are you looking to get, guys? Off the morning in the open, you're going to get anywhere between 15 and 30 point kind of 5-minute candles here on the NQ. So if you can start taking profits at 15, 20, 25 handles, that's a very, very good move. So for example, we did have a few traders take this trade setup off the open here. Again, as soon as we confirm that 200 SMA at around 15,550s, it did bounce a little bit here into the 60s, right? So we did, go into a little bit of drawdown there for a period of time, 10, 12 points, and then immediately started to flush. And when it started to flush there through the 550s, dropped all the way within 5 minutes, all the way to the 33s. So we're talking about almost 15 to 20 points within 5 minutes. Even if you would have sold half size here, allowed it to bounce and see what we were going to do here at this 200 SMA, you did get a continuation washout through 530s all the way down to 498. So that 498 was the next level that we were looking at. Again, we did have some traders that went short and they took profits on the way down, right? And then from there, what I started to preach is we got to let the first 30 minutes close, right? We need to see what the first hour candle is going to do. And what I mean by that is if we go over to the hourly chart and we kind of look at the first hour candle, which is here, right? So you would start to look at your first hour's highs, you would start to look at your first hour's lows. If we can get that confirmation through the first hour's lows, potentially there's a little bit more room for a scalp. So we did have another trader who actually took the scalp on that move. If you kind of see here, once we really started to break through this, right? We put in that low to the 82s, then it got confirmed here at the 845s. And if you look at it from the 82s all the way down to the 52s, this is a 30-point move here, right? So the only thing that you need to do here is once you see the drop, as soon as you get a bounce and we do not kind of get over that 50% retracement, we don't even get back over the 20 SMA, you've got to be thinking rejection to play this back down, okay? So that has to start processing in your head very, very quickly. But again, what we would be looking at here is a couple of things, right? If you were to take a first entry here, just when we broke through the lows, you would have made a little bit of money, 10, 12, 13 points, and then it immediately snapped back on you, right? You would have gotten stopped out if you used a 1-bar stop. So here's how you do it, right? Here's how you do it. After the first hour, you wanted to mark out those lows, which is here. Now what you need, because this becomes your pivot, okay, so this becomes your pivot, what you need to see have happen is your pivot needs to get broken. And as soon as your pivot gets broken, it's got to put in a new low. So as soon as it puts in a new low, our entry becomes when we take out the new low. Does that make sense? So we had our initial drop, we had our little bit of a bounce, less than 50% retracement. We're still trading below the 20 SMA. We get that breakout or breakdown, through the pivot, which was the previous lows here after the first hour, and then you put in the new price. So that new price then becomes your entry. So if, just to kind of simplify things, we're looking at the first hour's lows. We're looking for the first hour's lows to get broken. And then we are looking for the confirmation of that price. And again, yes, it didn't flush that much, but there was still 30 points in this move that you could have captured to the downside. There was a little bit of a short trade here as well at around 11.15 that confirms back below the 20 SMA, and that price was 485, drops all the way down to 457. So again, another 30-point move. Again, in this particular situation, I would be ignoring the long setups because we're in an overall downtrend, right? So when you can identify that the market is in an overall downtrend for the day, you want to ignore the long setups, guys, and just look for the short ones, okay? Ignore the long setups. So essentially we got about 2 trades here on the day, right? So about 2 trades on the day. Again, the first one here to here was very profitable. You could have been able to stop trading on the day there. Again, if you would have taken the low breakout here through that first hour candle lows, you would have been getting in here and selling on this little downturn. And again, nice little 10, 15, 20 point little scalp to the downside. So again, that's just a recap of what we were looking at today on the NQ futures. If you guys do want to join the room where you guys can get access to the live trading webinar, make sure you go to my community post. I posted up something in there for you guys. And again, I'll see you guys all in the next video.